Hello everyone, this is a shrubby honeysuckle, Lonicera nitida, and it's me using that species to do an impersonation of another species, in that I'm trying to grow this in the style of an acacia tree, the sort of tree you might see in Africa, places like that, in the savannah. And those big flat-topped trees with the trunk that comes up and the branches that form. This kind of grew up and lent itself to that form, and so in part inspired by Nigel Saunders making a video where he is doing a similar sort of thing, although I can't for the life of me remember what species of tree he used. I decided that I wanted to have a go at that too. So I've been letting it grow this season, letting it do its own thing, as it were. It's always good for a tree, every now and again, if you let it have its head and you know, get some vigour back into the tree. I mean, you can try and keep pruning them back constantly, but in the end, you know, you're liable to just weaken the tree and it will die rather than, you know, keep the same. So yeah, if you get an opportunity to let your tree grow out a little, take it. Don't let it get, you know, so out of hand that you've lost the shape and you can't get it back. But never be afraid to let it, shaggy is the term I tend to use, in need of a haircut. What I'm doing here is not so much just topiary. I'm trying to see, for example, here we have a very weak branch, and another branch here that's poking straight towards the viewer, so I'm going to take those off at source, and these going downwards. That I'd like to come up and fill in, but it's bending down to its own weight, so I'm going to trim it to there. Hopefully it won't get shaded out. It'll throw me a shoot up into filling this section a little more. I have been exposing these branches as the tree is growing up, so that you do get that sort of hand, you know, that the best way to explain it is you know, the trunk like an upstretched hand almost. What I'm not doing is just trimming straight across the top, because that would just make this topiary, and eventually the middle would begin to die off, which is not really what I want. What I'm looking for is long pieces like this that I can snip right back, and that's keeping air and light flowing into the middle of the tree. Even flowering just there, I don't know if you can see that. One solitary flower. Leaves the flower on. So yeah, it's a question of, I'm pruning back these long growths to try and get 2 into 4, 4 into 2, and so forth. As I say, it's not topiary. That would just involve me just doing this 2 minutes and it would be done. And yeah, you'd have a very flat top and it would look just like somebody had topiarized a little bush, less, and less like a tree. In his video, Nigel talks about the sun going over the trees and causing them to grow in the way that they grow, quite scientifically, and he can put it much better than me. So if you haven't seen that video, I'd urge you to go and look at it, not least because it'll also explain what I'm doing much better than I can. So I'm just going to keep working my way across the tree. And where I'm getting knots of 4 or 5 branches in a place, I'm going to take out 2 or 3 like that. Just thinned it out, lets more light and air in whilst keeping the structure. Just to give you a quick look at the base of this tree, it does have some very nice surface roots, a nice bit of root flare, and has this wonderfully peeling bark that I really like. And then coming up we have that mysterious hand-like growth of the branches. So yeah, it's fairly straight in this region, but a tiny bit amount of curve here kind of makes up for it. I like it. Okay, so there we have my Lonicera nitida, my shrubby honeysuckle, doing its very best impression of an African acacia tree. To maybe shorten this back in a little bit just to try and get a better silhouette. It does need to fill in here somehow, but that's just a matter of time really. I hope you can see that I'm still finding long bits that are going back down. That it's not just the topiary, this is a little bit more sophisticated than that. There are light and air gaps, just like you would find in a real tree. Yeah, so anyway, that's enough out of me on this tree. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, please take care of yourselves.